Happy Monday. Welcome in to Seahawks Today by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us. Today's show is sponsored by Hexclad. Check them out at hexclad.com/chat. Promo code chat for 10% off. We'll tell you about their outstanding cookware coming up later on in today's show. We are talking about the latest from OTAs with your Seattle Seahawks today. We'll get you caught up with everything you need to know here on the program of what's going on with your Seattle Seahawks as they get ready for the 2023 NFL season with some big headlines in just a matter of moments. Before we get to that, though, a little survey here on this edition of Seahawks Today. I want to know, do you think the Seahawks are going to make the playoffs or not? What is your expectation for Seattle? If you think they'll make the playoffs, go ahead and give that like button a little tickle. If not, comment and tell me why you don't think the Seahawks are going to make the playoffs. Tell me what you think one way or the other. Like the video if you think they'll make the playoffs. If not, tell me why you don't think they will, and we'll get started with today's show. We begin with Mike Jackson. Mike Jackson, a lot of pressure on Mike Jackson entering 2023 with the addition of Devon Witherspoon that the Seahawks made at the beginning of the 2023 NFL Draft at 5th overall. And the expectation has been that we will see Devon Witherspoon step up and be one of these starting outside corners and bumping Mike Jackson down in the depth chart. But with that being said, Mike Jackson has stepped up with the limitations that we've seen from Devon Witherspoon of coming back from injury and them trying to hold him back a little bit. And then, of course, with Tariq Woolen out for the time being as well, Mike Jackson so far has looked like he's still competing hard, that he is going to go out there and give it his best to try to still get that coveted playing time that he wants and still wants to remain on the field. Pete Carroll had this to say about Mike Jackson. He played a really solid football last season, did a lot of good stuff, and he comes back and feels he's in really good shape and feels great about it. The fact we drafted Witherspoon, that sends everybody's alert up. When Tariq stepped out, Mike looked like he said, I got to do my stuff. I got to take a little bit there, and he did. He's had a fantastic offseason of work. He's been on his game. You can see the experience and the carryover from last year is really there. So all positive from Mike Jackson on that front. And the more the merrier, right? When you look at Mike Jackson, a guy that started all 17 games for the Seahawks in 2022 at outside corner, whether he starts this season or not, and you know, the assumption is that Devon Witherspoon will be that starter alongside Tariq Woolen there. The Seahawks have a good problem on their hands here. They have depth at the position. If whatever happens to Woolen or Witherspoon, either one, Mike Jackson is more than capable of filling that role, and I think that's a good problem to have. So good to see that Mike Jackson is stepping up. He's competing and impressing the coaching staff so far at this point in OTAs. Will Mike Jackson start for the Seahawks week 1? What do you think? Will he still hold on to his starting spot, or will one of the young guns take that position? It's our pinned comment today. You might get an ad break. If so, take advantage of it. Get your votes in. Tell me what you think. Y for yes, in for no. Will Mike Jackson start for the Seahawks or not? Y for yes, in for no. Tell me in the comment section below. Number 2 on our OTA takeaways of the latest happenings so far through OTAs is Jake Bobo. And we told you when the Seahawks announced their undrafted rookie free agents, the class of 28+, that Jake Bobo was a guy to watch out for. The wide receiver out of UCLA, formerly of Duke, a lot of size and strength that he brings to the table. Not a whole lot of speed, but he was certainly going to be one to watch for to see what he brings to the table and if he could ultimately make this Seahawks roster or not. We'll tell you more about Jake Bobo here in just one moment, what he's done so far at OTAs. But first, we got to tell you about our friends at Hexclad. All right, guys, time to talk about your kitchen. And no, I'm not talking about your roommate's dishes in the sink. Today's sponsor, Hexclad, has revolutionized the cookware industry with a hybrid pan that gives you all the convenience and cleanup of nonstick, the versatility of your grandma's cast iron, and a lifetime warranty just in case you find a way to destroy them. Use promo code CHAT at hexclad.com/chat for 10% off. Hexclad truly checks every single box when it comes to picking your cookware. They are metal utensil safe, dishwasher safe, and oven safe up to 500 degrees. Don't just take my word for it either. Celebrity chef Gordon Ramsay uses them at home too. Gordon Ramsay saying, the sear I get with these pans is incredible with absolutely no stick. The temperature control is utter perfection and the cleanup is effortless. I love using HexClad at home. They are the sexiest pans on the market. Score points at home. Here's what they look like, folks. It's time to stop ordering delivery food and start cooking like a big boy with HexClad. Real cuisine isn't made in the microwave. It's cooked in a HexClad. For a limited time, get 10% off with our special link, hexclad.com/chat. That's 10% off at hexclad.com/chat and use the promo code chat at checkout. Here it is once again. I got to tell you, these things look fantastic. What are you waiting for? Get yours today. Tell them that Tyler Jones and Chat Sports sent you. You'll be glad you did. More on Jake Bobo. Let's tell you about what The Athletic had to say in regards to his performance so far at OTAs. But among the undrafted rookies in this class, Bobo is seeing a lot of targets, both in the short game and deep down the field. Every time he makes a play, the defense running backs coach Chad Morton loudly rubs it in his face of the opposition. Bobo, we mentioned, an undrafted rookie, and last year was with UCLA, was a product out of the transfer portal where he had previously spent 3 seasons with Duke from 2018 to 2021. Third team All-ACC in 2021 there in his final season with Duke. And Pete Carroll had this to say about Jake Bobo. Jake has shown up. What Chip Kelly, UCLA's head coach, talked about was his great practice player. He's done that here. He's been making plays. He's got some guys that are cheerleading. The Chad Morton cheerleading crew is all over the Jake Bobo show right now. It's been fun. He's doing a nice job, and he makes things happen. So he's got a big fan in Chad Morton and the crew there. So pretty cool to see on Jake Bobo in that regard. His chances of making the 53-man roster, it's going to be tough. The Seahawks loaded at that receiver position, but nonetheless, I think it's going to be at least worth keeping him around as a practice squad player for sure. We think here that he won't make the 53-man roster, but he certainly will compete. He's worth keeping around. What say you, though? Jake Bobo will not make the 53-man roster. That's what we think here on Seahawks Today. Type T for true, type F for false. What do you think? Tell me in the comment section. T for true, F for false. Tell me what you think in the comment section below. Folks, got to subscribe to the channel. We're bringing you daily Seattle Seahawks coverage each and every day with the latest happenings on your favorite team with news and rumors. We do our live shows on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. And during the season, we're going to be doing our watch parties again on game days as well. This is the channel for a true member of the 12s. If you love your Seattle Seahawks, you got to subscribe and join the 38,000-plus Seahawk fans that are with us each and every day. Subscribe now for free. Turn on notifications so you never miss a moment. If the Seahawks make a move, we're all over it here on the channel. Subscribe for free today, and you'll be glad you did. Number 3 on our list is respect for the legend Bobby Wagner. And I got to tell you, I was reading through The Athletic and their reporting from OTAs, and it was very fascinating to hear just the respect that this team has for Bobby Wagner. Bobby is the guy that walks in a room and just kind of demands respect with his presence. And it was interesting as I was reading this article of DK Metcalf talking about Bobby Wagner and what he meant for him as he was entering the league and first joined the Seahawks and how tight they were relationship-wise. And then ultimately, DK Metcalf, as he was coaching up Kenneth Walker III last year and being a good teammate, he was talking about Bobby Wagner, how much he meant to him, and that he was, basically trying to go about those same traits when approaching Kenneth Walker III and encouraged Kenneth Walker III to get familiar with Bobby Wagner. And sure enough, they did, even before Bobby returned to Seattle. Listen to this from The Athletic. Walker exited Seattle's Week 13 win over the Rams early, but Wagner still made sure to send Walker a direct message on social media after the game to see how he was doing. They exchanged numbers, and Wagner told Walker to reach out if he ever needed anything. That's when I knew he was a great guy, Walker said. They didn't win that game, but he was still able to reach out to me. Then just having him in the locker room now and being able to talk to him, he is a great guy. A lot of respect there for Bobby Wagner. That's awesome to see, and I love to see that translate in that locker room as far as that goes. We all knew Bobby was a great guy, but great to see these young guys saying what we've seen from Bobby Wagner over the years. Last one on our takeaways and headlines so far out of OTAs. Alton Robinson, his future is in question, in doubt at this point. Remember, he missed all of 2022 with the injury that he suffered in the preseason. And now as we sit here wondering, remember the Seahawks are very competitive at his position when it comes to roster spots of who's going to make the 53-man. And looking at Alton Robinson, the recovery and where he's at, and also just competing for playing time, it doesn't look very good for Alton Robinson at this point. Here's more from the Seattle Times. Carroll said it also remains unclear when, or even if, edge rusher Alton Robinson will make it back from a knee injury suffered in the preseason a year ago. Robinson, a fifth-round pick out of Penn State in 2020, had surgery and missed the rest of the season. Carroll called it a little bit of unknown if or when Robinson will be back, saying it's been a long, hard road for him. I know that. I don't really have much else on it. So unfortunate for Alton Robinson. That remains the case at this point. Certainly wish him the best of luck. Would love to see him back out there, but it's not looking great with the information that we have at this point in time. Should the Seahawks keep Alton Robinson if, let's say, that he does get healthy and it comes down to giving him a roster spot or not? What do you think? Should the Seahawks give him one of those roster spots or move on? Tell me what you think in the comment section. C for cut, K for keep. Tell me in the comment section what you think. C for cut, K for keep. Tell me what you think and let me know. So to recap, let's go over these one more time, the takeaways from OTA so far. Mike Jackson stepping up to the plate, doing a really good job so far to this point, competing for playing time, taking advantage of Tariq Woolen not being there and Devon Witherspoon being limited. Jake Bobo, the undrafted rookie out of UCLA, certainly is catching some eyebrows and a lot of excitement for what he brings to the table there, and we'll see what he can do to make that 53-man roster. A lot of respect for Bobby Wagner, the veteran, as he makes his return to Seattle. Not only the excitement there, but the young guys connecting with him, in particular Kenneth Walker III. And then Alton Robinson, his future in doubt at this point. We'll see what happens to him, but not necessarily ideal of what he's going through at this point in time. What's your biggest takeaway from OTAs, from what we've seen so far throughout the last week or so? Tell me what you think in the comment section. Also, check out HexClad for 10% off with the promo code CHAT at checkout for their awesome pans and cookware products. Hit me up on social media. I got more updates on your Seattle Seahawks on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Tyler Jones Live. You can find me there, and I'll see you next time right here on Seahawks Today.